The primary trait that an employer should look for when screening an applicant is a trait of absolute truthfulness, morality, and ethical foundations. They can teach skills. They can teach other things, but that employee has to have integrity. I decided to pursue a career in government because I truly believe that government impacts everything that we do, and that specifically the policy aspects of government impact everything we do. You know, if you say I want to become a pilot, well, the FAA and the policy behind that impacts everything a pilot does. And so I wanted to be part of government and part of things that impact people. I believe that government was ordained by God, created by God. And so when you have a healthy government, you have liberty and order and justice. The converse of that is that when you don't have a healthy government, you don't have liberty, order, and justice. If you look at our preamble to our Constitution, it talks about, creating a government that would provide for liberty, order, and justice. Promote domestic tranquility, promote common defense, have property rights, give we the people the sovereignty to be our governing body. The risks associated when it's unhealthy is that the governed will lose faith in the government. The risk is that, again, we the people are the sovereigns of our nation, and if it's unhealthy, you have a government that has leaders and employees who are unethical, unmoral, and cannot be trusted. When you lose that trust, it takes a society, oftentimes generations, to correct the ship, if you would, to regain that trust. Biblically, if you look at the Old Testament books of Kings, 1st and 2nd Kings, you can see example over and over again where those who were to govern were unethical, were immoral, were unjust, and society paid for it. And so there is a huge risk in the industry of government if the government doesn't have integrity, if it is unethical. I think the biggest thing that happens when unethical people are put in positions of leadership is that they either fail to lead or they lead astray. They create an atmosphere, an environment that encourages their subordinates, the people who work for them or who are entrusted to them, to also be unethical, to also bend the truth, break the rules, do the things for their own gain. There are several consequences with hiring employees who are not committed to the foundations of morality and ethics and integrity. One, they're going to provide their bosses, their consumers, with the information that they think they want to hear, as opposed to telling the truth, doing what's morally and legally correct, even when nobody else is watching. And so they're always going to sway with the wind. One of the things that we try to do at Liberty University is in every class we teach, we try to teach that there is truth with a capital T, and there are things that are right and wrong. And so when you hire employees who don't have an ethical foundation, they're going to do things for self, they're going to do things that are unethical, and they're going to perpetuate to the decision makers information that is incorrect, that is tainted, because they'll see things as situational ethics as opposed to right and wrong. And so I've had an opportunity to deal with those people we're actually hiring, primarily in the federal government, and they have openly said, we want to hire Liberty grads because they can pass a background test, they can pass a polygraph, they have the foundation of what we need within our government. And so it's a privilege to train up young men and women who are going to go out into the world and make a difference. At the same time, those young men and women have a form of, if you would, apologetics. They're going to go out into a world that sometimes is hostile, that may attack them for their ethical stance, for their integrity. And being able to defend that is important. Whether you're a leader or whether you're a subordinate, you have to see service as greater than self. And what happens when the leaders are unethical is that everyone begins to see self as more important than service.